Welcome to the Miskatonic Playhouse and the final act of The Yellow Death. I'm T.A. Newman, your host. My team and I will be bringing to life cosmic tales using the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, which contains mature themes, horror, character death, and loss of sanity. Our mystery can be found in the Miskatonic repository, where people like you and me can write scenarios for other players. We're proud to have this episode of the Miskatonic Playhouse sponsored by the Storytelling Collective, who provide an excellent course on scenario writing, which many of the team have taken to help improve their writing skills. Last time, our investigators placed one of their number on the horrific Fourth Ward. Tensions between investigators are strained already, but when a patient seemingly throws themselves from a window, the fractured group splinter even more. Now it's time to pull back the curtain and roll the dice. Keeper, the stage is yours.
My daughter, I'm telling you to keep an eye on her. And that's what you're telling me, that something is about to... Please, Arthur, you're being so bloody fucking dumb. Keep her safe. Keep her safe. They'll arrive soon. He hangs up. Are you going back to the Fourth Ward? Or are you going somewhere else? Arthur, what is your plan?
I check that my gun is still there, and I go back to find Sophia in a huff.
You do find Sophia. She's talking to an elderly right now next to a sink. So you can actually find her. Connor, during that time, are you next to the Fourth Ward?
Yeah, I think the time has come where Connor's given enough signals that we're going up to the Fourth Ward. That he's got his spittoon, he's got his handkerchief, he's got his gun hidden. He's looking as nonchalant and innocent as possible, which he's well practiced in, being an ex-police and detective. And he's kind of, before just kind of going up and walking into the Fourth Ward, he's just kind of going up to their floor, their own personal floor that they're on.
So you're going to the 5th floor first?
Yeah, just going up to the 5th floor, just so that he's got a bit of an excuse.
As you do so, you can see the Fourth Ward on your way up. You can see that you have a few orderlies waiting in front of the Fourth Ward door. They're just guarding the whole thing, as always. The door seems to be closed, as always, as well.
But there are orderlies there.
Yeah. There's like always 2 or 3 orderlies. Right now, there's only 2.
Well, after seeing that, he'll make an excuse, go back to his room, basically sit down. He will watch his watch for 10 minutes and check his bag. He won't drink anything because he's still reasonably sated, but he will check his bag, make sure that everything's there and it hasn't been disturbed.
Yep.
And then after 10 minutes have passed and it's enough of an excuse for him to have said he's gone back to his room after breakfast, he will then go back down with the intention of trying to find Arthur and Sophia, possibly Chris. With the he's still convinced on this idea that they need to make a distraction.
Great. Let's assume that Arthur, Sophia, Connor, after a few minutes, you do find each other. What do you want to do? I'm gonna let you just decide that by yourselves, guys.
Connor will go over with a couple of coffees and things. Are we still at the end of breakfast, could we say? Are we still allowed to be in that area?
The whole schedule has been thrown into some sort of chaos right now because of the suicide. No one is asking you to go to the walk thing. It has been cancelled, from what you can tell anyway. So right now, it looks like you have some free time.
Arthur, Sophia, you handled yourself really well there. You should be proud of yourself. This investigative behavior, lifestyle seems to you be quite akin to it. Good work there.
Pete, you are muted right now.
Well, thank you, but I did set up a detective agency, so I think I know a thing or two, Mr. Connor. But look, Mr. Burton, did you get your personal affairs in order?
I'm afraid things appear to be more complicated than I had hoped.
A lot of relatives, I assume, a lot of people you've got to give things to.
Mostly people that take things away from me.
Well, seems Arthur has come to terms with his experience here and has accepted the fact that he may not make it out of here alive. I assume your will is all in order.
I have to tell you something, Sophia. Connor, would you mind giving us some space?
I look to Sophia.
I nod him away and then step aside with Arthur.
A bit further away, Arthur, please.
I will try and stay in earshot. Maybe because I've had a few drinks. I'm not very good at judging the distance, but I'll try and stay in some kind of earshot.
There's an awkward moment while Connor's still sort of floating around and we're just sort of like...
Yeah. Excuse me. I just take like one big step back.
We take a few steps the other way.
I will try and listen in. As far away as I am, I will try and listen.
Well, you can make a hard listen roll to see if you can actually listen anything, hear anything.
Okay, I always get excited on certain dice rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 10 and a 0.
That's a
10.
10.
That's what I was praying for. I'm pretty sure it was. You know when you know, but you get excited and you just go, oh my God, is this a thing? So that's a 10 out of 60. So that's an extreme success.
Wow.
Fine.
You can hear most of it. You might miss a few words, but you will understand the whole thing. You can pretend you're not listening, but you hear most of
it. Well, how's your acting, Connor?
Not very good.
Sophia, Arthur, you think that you are not listened to and that you have some private time.
Don't say it like that. It makes
I'm
it
real
sound
sorry
weird.
about that.
I am much older than Sophia. There's nothing weird going on here.
Connor blushes.
Sophia, I know you are determined to see this through. And I know it must be strange how I've been trying to protect you this whole time. Like when you hired me for this team, you thought I was an accountant and a lawyer, and I am. But more than that, I guess now is a good time as any to tell you that I work for your father.
What? What?
Say anything. I just let me finish. Your father deeply cares about you, and well, let's say that it has been more than a few times in our adventures so far that my protection has been valuable to you, even if you didn't know it at the time. I can see that this mission is different than others have been, and I don't expect we'll make it out of this alive, which means I will have failed my mission to protect you. My only mission, my last mission, and I'd like to ask you for one more time to walk away. Your father has called the police, and they're on their way here to get you. Any hour now. You can make it out of this alive. I know I can't. I promise you, I will give my life to save Kyle if that's what you want. Just please, with my last dying breath, I wish that you would just walk away and save yourself so that it hasn't all been for nothing.
Well, Mr. Burton, I'm sympathetic to all the troubles you've gone to on my behalf. I really am. But the truth is my daddy, he's never really had much faith in me, and he's never thought that I'm capable of any of this, of even writing or setting up this detective agency and drawing together all these people that, all these smart, courageous people whom I've come to love, including you, Mr. Burton. Now, look, I know you've got a mission to keep me safe, and the best way to do that is to keep us all safe. And we need to band together here. We need to escape together, and we need to get Mr. Cormac, and we need to. I'm sorry, but we gotta save Mr. McDullen as well. I think he's an enemy to himself. And young Chris there, I mean, he's got a bright future ahead of him. I think we need to group together, and we just need to get out of here.
Very well. If that's what you need to believe. I tried. And then he'll just go back to Connor and say, well, off to the 4th ward we go, Connor. You're a good man.
I feel so
You
bad
try
now.
your best. And I hope that one day you find your way back into the man I am sure you once were.
Thank you, Arthur, for such a patronizing speech. I
Puts a hand on his
appreciate
shoulder.
I appreciate your kind words. I don't think we're going to be hugging right now, though, if that's okay with you.
Just a pat. I don't want to hug you either. It's okay.
Good. I kind of I look at my wristwatch and just kind of get a sense of from when Arthur talked about the police potentially coming in the next hour or so. I don't know whether that's an actual timeline of reality, but just clocking the time now so that we've got a sense as we kind of move forward. Sophia, are you okay?
I'm fine, Connor. Look, I suggest that with you two strong men around, I think you're the best people to go in there and bust Mr. Cormac out. So if I make a distraction, I trust you guys can get the job done.
Can I suggest, Sophia, and you may have an alternative distraction, the creative ward with the paintings and things. I have no doubt that place would benefit from a small fire. Just my humble opinion.
I have a different idea, which might play out, but if my idea doesn't play out, then I think maybe a little bit of fire can't hurt.
Like I said, you're the boss. Arthur, that means you and I are going up to the 4th ward.
Very well.
Sophia, will we know when your idea has played out? Will there be a sign where the orderlies come running? What would you have in mind?
Well, I'm hoping they'll come running from the ward, and then you can maybe get in.
Sophia, I have one request, and this is from me, as I said, with absolute respect to you, being our leader here in this moment. If you see Christopher, you see Chris, and there is a way out, you make sure Chris gets out. You understand?
I'll make sure, Connor.
Well, Arthur, looks like you and I are making the long steps up to the 4th ward. After you.
Of course.
So, if I do understand things well, Sophia is going to try to start a fire somewhere.
I thought you had a different idea.
Slightly different idea, but we'll see how it plays out, and then maybe
I
fire's
hope it's
our
something
friend.
with the pipes. Something with the pipes. That's
Right.
where my
Then,
vote goes.
Sophia, I'm going to ask, what do you want to do?
So Sophia's going to go back down to the canteen. I assume there's still a few people milling about because
Yeah, I mean, our breakfast is supposed to be over, but because you all have some free time and you can do whatever you want, some of the patients are still here.
Okay, so I go up to one of the patients and I say, oh, excuse me, I heard you're involved in that theater production that's happening.
Yes, yes. Who told you that?
That man over there, and points to like a random patient and says, "Yeah, I heard you're just a stagehand. You just
Just
do."
a stagehand? I'm not just a stagehand. I'm the main writer of the play.
I'm sorry. That's not what he said. He said that he was the
That's
main
not
writer
what
of the
he
play.
said. Well, he's a liar. That you hear me? He's a liar. You come here. You told her I was just a stagehand. You listen now. A brawl is starting in the mess hall right now. People are just hitting each other. Some people are ripping their clothes, and you can hear all of them, being like, "That's a treason! I'm never working with you again. I'm the real king. I'm the main writer. What are you still doing here?" It is quite a fuss. Some orderlies and some nurses are gathering right now. A big mess in the mess hall. That's what we have right now.
Who needs fire?
That's what we have here. During that time, fourth ward, a few orderlies in front of the door, and as you arrive, Arthur and Connor, the orderlies they're not acting as their usual self. They seem to be troubled. They seem to be upset. They seem to be listening inside. They're just putting their ear to the door and they're listening inside the fourth ward. So they're not looking at you right now.
Arthur, we have an opportunity. We could take them out of the equation, if you know what I mean.
Do you have anything to tie them with?
Not on me. I mean, we could drag them back to their rooms. We could tie them in their clothes. We could just beat the living crap out of them and drag them into the fourth ward with us.
Is there like a closet or something nearby?
What are you exactly looking for?
A way to incapacitate these guards. Is there somewhere we can shut them in or lock them in or something?
They are in front of the only door to the fourth ward, so you don't have any other access to the rest of this floor. So if you wanted to look at some sort of room where you could hide the bodies or something like that, you would need to go to the fifth ward or the third ward.
Okay, so we'd have to carry them up or down the stairs, which is not ideal.
Or, Arthur, we could, I pull out my gun, I did it very privately, and I pull out my gun and say, this bit of the gun here, this with the back of someone's head, you clock them once, you clock them twice, they're going down. They're going to be out. Not like dead, but they're just unconscious.
Are you sure that's not just a thing that happens in the movies?
How long have I done this? How long have I done this?
A while.
A while.
And you are feeling clarity of mind and sobriety right now.
Now you listen to me, Arthur. I got this. I am all over this. This is what I do. Okay, you need to just have faith in me, Arthur. You have faith in me. You understand?
Connor, as you are arguing and fighting, I'm gonna ask for a luck roll, please.
Who's rolling it? Arthur,
Connor. Connor is gonna roll that.
What's your luck, Connor?
I got a 66 out of 60.
Oh no.
That is a failure. Let's go back to Chris. Chris, you open that door. It is dark inside. You can't really see much right now. Are you looking for a switch? Are you looking for something else? Do you want to smell? What do you want to do in this dark room where you can't see shit?
In the absence of anything obvious in front of him, he will flick the switch and try and turn the light on.
You're trying to touch the wall. You're looking for something, looking for a switch, and you do find it. 1 second and the light flickers on. in front of you, there is some sort of, yeah, like a big elevated barrel, I guess. It looks huge. Some sort of big reservoir, if it does make sense. Maybe like a swimming pool, but ground. That is what is in front of you. There's a wooden, some wooden stairs going up if you want to look at it.
Yes.
You do take those stairs. It's creaking, but slowly and surely you're getting up. As you're getting up, you can look at the ceiling and see that all the plumbing goes here. It all leads down to this room. It all leads down to this whole god bloody awful swimming pool of phlegm. In front of you, a lake of yellow mucus. It is bubbly, it is alive. It is moving by itself, as if some kind of unknown life was to develop in it. This is not only the accumulation of patients' phlegm. It is more than that. It is the incubation of life itself. It is the incubation of dream. It is the incubation of hope. You do understand that now. You're looking at it and you are fascinated. You are not inside, but you can imagine that it is welcoming, that it is warm. You hear a voice inside your head. It tells you that you are the heir to the kingdom. You just have to go through the last step. You have been chosen. You just need to join. You just need to jump. You're gonna do two things for me, Hedge. You're gonna do a sanity roll first, and then we can ask maybe for, a power roll.
Sanity roll.
Sanity roll
38,
first.
so it's not going to go well. It's a 65, so it's a fail.
Great. You lose 1d4 sanity.
1. Ah,
Only one.
yeah.
You are shaken, and you do believe that this whole life growing here is not that weird. Of course, I mean, you're not scientific yourself. Maybe it's all normal after all.
So, I mean, I guess this is how it works. I don't really understand these sanatoriums. Maybe this is just what happens.
I mean, it's not really what happens, but maybe here, maybe it's a new thing.
Yeah. Power roll?
But the voice inside your head, that's something else. Yes, a power roll, please.
Not great. 45. So when you roll 99 and your power is 45,
Well, that
unlike
would be...
when your power is 50 or more, that's called a fumble.
It is.
Yes.
Chris, you have lived through difficult things. The memory of your uncle lingers in your mind. Do you want to push that roll, or do you want to accept it?
I fully accept that role. I don't live in a world where you push fumbles. I feel that's
you understand that you need to jump.
Failed my jump roll.
One step ahead. It's not even a jump. It is just someone losing his balance towards the void. You feel good. You feel extremely good. You're inside. Oh, now you understand. Dr. White has heard the truth. That the sickness is not a sickness after all. You live for the first time in your life. You truly are alive because you are one with the sickness and you are part of the sickness as well. You understand that it needs to spread. As your body disappears and dissolves, within your last moments of clarity, I guess, and consciousness, as you are part of this whole pool of mucus and disgusting yellow substance, you feel it expand, as if this whole thing was your own body now, because you're part of it. You feel yourself push, and you feel that this swimming pool is not gonna hold you for much longer. Soon you will join all the others and they will finally understand, because that is what Dr. White wanted. And because you understand that, you're trying to push.
Yeah, push.
If we are back to the fourth ward, and if we are back to Arthur and Connor arguing, we are also back to orderlies tapping on Connor's shoulder and be like, "What are you two doing here? What, you have a gun? What?
Get back now! Get back against that wall right now!"
We're practicing for a play.
Okay, so you're gonna roll intimidate, but with a malus die, because Arthur is pretending that this is a prop and not a real gun.
No.
Are we both rolling with a penalty die?
No, just you. You're the one trying to intimidate, but with a penalty die.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, we didn't make it, Arthur, just to let you know. 72 over 30. We are the least intimidating people in the state, let alone the hospital.
I guess we have to shoot them now.
The orderlies are going to try to take your gun from you because they think they're props. Are you shooting?
Shoot one in the knee. One in the knee.
Well, I mean, they didn't try to dodge or anything. They thought they were props. You shoot one in the knee.
Welcome, I guess.
One of them is just like rolling on the floor, screaming, being like, "Oh my fucking bloody knee!"
And then I'm gonna say, "Arthur, get your gun on him." And
yeah, I'm gonna try and hit the other one while he's distracted looking at the blood, if I can.
And I'm going to go down to the one who's screaming on the floor and try and do the old film classic, butt of the gun, twice on the back of the head, knock him out trick.
The second one, as soon as you shoot, is running away. What are you doing with the second one? Are you shooting him as well?
We're going to create so much commotion. I'll shoot him. Why not?
Well, if you're both shooting, it's a firearm roll, pretty simple.
Yep. I think we are both shooting.
Nice.
He's trying to run away. He's in the stairways. What's happening?
Arthur is not that good at using a gun.
Go on, Arthur. How did you do?
I rolled 82 over 35.
Mm-hmm.
You're better than the gun than I am, which is surprising considering this is my career. But I've never really used a gun that much, I imagine. It's more of the... So I got a 36 over 25.
Spend the luck.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to use luck to make this a success because we need to, even though there's gunshots, we don't want someone running away and
I
explaining.
mean, you had one gunshot already, so might as well keep on shooting.
Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
If you are spending the luck, then could you roll for
Yes.
damage, please?
I can. It's 1d10. Obviously it's that. 10.
On the leg?
No. I mean, you were not aiming for the leg. You
I've
hit
had a few
him.
drinks.
You hit him in the back. As you hit him in the back, he's falling in the stairs. His head is smashing upon the steps. This man is completely dead. That is for certain.
Connor.
I didn't mean to. I meant to stop him. I meant to stop from running away.
Run, Connor, run!
My knee. Please leave me. Please leave me.
Bang, I back him on the head just to try and shut him up.
And you won't hear him anymore. He's down. That's perfect. What do you want to do?
Is this sanity roll worthy? I'm just wondering.
Right now, I would say that in the heat of the moment, and because you have a lot of other things on your mind, this is gonna be fine. You've seen dead bodies before today, and that's just one more. It's in the heat of the moment. You're fine. The one you just knocked out has a key if you want to, but you need to act fast. What do you want to do?
Grab key, enter fourth ward, run. Lock the door behind us.
One second. I'm going to grab the orderly whose knee is bleeding, who's knocked out, and I'm going to drag his body in the opposite direction and just kind of just throw him as far as I can, just to give the sense of that's where his body was dragged and that's where people may have gone. I'm trying to leave like a trail in a different direction. And then without the blood leading towards the fourth floor, I'm going to be very careful about not stepping in blood and then joining Arthur in the fourth ward, the going in, closing the doors, locking the door. So blood goes in either direction, but not into the fourth ward.
So, Connor, you just did that. On Arthur, you were waiting on him. And as soon as he's done, you take your key. You open the door. As you open the door, you see Kyle. Kyle unbound, but Kyle on the verge of collapsing. Kyle, you have just a few words left before you pass out.
Sir, have you been drinking?
Carl, I'm not sure this is the best time to discuss that.
What happened? Kyle, come with us. We can go.
Kyle, I'm going to ask you to roll a d10.
Okay.
And that's how many words you have left before you pass out.
Okay, 7.
You have 7 words. Make them count.
You have to see for yourself.
Ooh.
Wait.
Yeah,
yourself is one word. You have one more.
You have to see for yourself.
In
big, massive clue.
Arthur.
And your last word, Kyle, is?
Help.
Kyle collapses in your arms.
Can we check if he's alive?
Whose arms?
Connor, you were talking to him. I'm gonna assume that he's falling into your arms. You know that he sacrificed himself for you. That you have promised that you would stop your drinking and go to church, and he's in your arms right now. He trusts you.
Does he look unaffected?
He looks alive. He's passed out. Might be because of some sort of drugs. That would be, your diagnostic, your quick diagnostic, because you don't see any wounds on him or anything, so it might be some kind of drugs.
Okay, then I'll kind of. Is he passed out? Completely passed out?
Yeah, right now he is.
Arthur, we gotta find out. The beds. The beds have wheels on them.
Nurses and orderlies going towards you. I mean,
From which side?
From the stairs. It's coming from the ground floor.
The way we came in.
Time to lock the door.
Lock the door. We need to get Cal on a bed with wheels, and we need to find another way out of here. Let's go out. Let's go further into Ward 4.
Here you are, beginning of the fourth ward. There's like some sort of first room, which is some sort of antechamber, I guess. And you locking yourself inside. There is another door going towards the rest of the fourth ward. Do you want to open that?
Yes.
Can we listen out to see if we're entering a room where other people are there?
Yeah, of course. You can make a listen roll.
Okay. I don't have listen. I was hoping Connor would do it.
I do.
You can both make a listen roll. That's perfectly fine with me.
I failed. So.
Oh, 22 on a 60, which is a hard success.
Arthur, because of the noises in the stairways, because of the orderlies screaming, because they are discovering a body right now. You can hear that they're like, "Oh, call the police! Call the police!" But on your side, Connor, you do hear something. It is weird. You do understand that this is weird because there is only one sound inside the fourth ward. You would expect to hear patients. You would expect to hear maybe screams, or people talking because they were gunshots just next to the fourth ward entrance. But there is only one thing you hear: some sort of mechanical sound. It is cyclic. It is always the same sound repeating itself. It is some sort of mechanism, but you wouldn't be able to tell more. Just a sound going in and out, in and out.
Arthur, come here. Hold Carl, and I'll kind of slump Carl on Arthur as best I can, arm around. Yeah, stand there. Hold your gun. Get your gun. I'll get my gun out and I'll just handkerchief over the mouth and nose, and I'll go kind of push the door open further into the room where I hear the mechanical cyclical noise.
So you open the door?
Yes, I do.
You open the door. And we are going back to Sophia. Sophia, you did start quite a big fight in the mess hall. It would be something of interest for all the orderlies and nurses, but you just heard gunshots, and that did stop the fight quite quickly. All the other patients suddenly went calm and scared. They're not used to hear gunshots in this respectable and formidable sanatorium and institution. It is, after all, quite a fancy place in many ways. Here, everybody is scared. People are running towards their rooms. They are all expecting the police to arrive. Orderlies are running around. What do you want to do?
So Sophia is going to enact stage 2 of her plan, which may not go to plan, but she jumps on a table and says, "Brothers, sisters, don't be afraid. The Renaissance is here. I can take you to the writer. I can take you to the king. Follow me." And she heads towards Ward 4.
You have, to understand how many patients are going to follow you, I'm going to ask for a persuade roll, I guess.
Ooh, all right.
You can have bonus die here. I think it's a great idea, and it's really cinematic.
I think I'm
take a bonus die.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, right. 25 out of 10. I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna spend the 15 luck.
Yes. I didn't edit my luck earlier.
You had something like maybe 30 people, 30 patients still in the mess hall with you, and as you climb that table and you begin your speech, they stop to run around, they stop to scream, they stop to cry, and they look at Sophia. That is hope. That is salvation. That is someone who understands, someone who is on their side. someone who has seen the real things. She's not really part of the writers, but she speaks well and she could be part of the writers. Let's follow her. Let's follow her to the king. So you want to rush towards the fourth ward?
Oh,
with
yeah.
your crowd?
Yep.
That sounds good to me. On your way up, you will find many orderlies and nurses. Do you ignore them?
No, I shout to the crowd. I say, these blasphemers, they do not understand. I'm not doing that in an accent, but you get the gist.
Yes, of course, I do. As you are crossing path with orderlies and nurses, you see them being taken by the crowd, being beaten up, heads being smashed against walls. You have a pretty violent crowd with yourself right now. And this is maybe not what you were expecting. And you can roll sanity now.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. All right. That is 75 out of 60. Oh dear.
You lose 1d4 sanity.
That's a 3.
You are the queen of this crowd. You are responsible for everything. You hear the cracks of bones, and you hear the splash of boots inside the blood. You see the pain in the nurse's eyes. Behind you lies the old body of Pearl, who has been smashed against the wall. But you can't go back now. The crowd goes on, and so do you. You arrive in front of the fourth ward. There's 2 bodies, but you're not really paying attention. The crowd is trying to smash the doors right now. Let's go back inside. Kyle, could you give me a constitution roll, please, to see if you
Sure.
wake up?
Let's have a go. That's a 78 over 70, so that's a no.
Do you want to
have
spend luck?
to spend?
I do. I'm only 32, but I will spend it. Yeah, why not? So that leaves me with okay. Wow, not a lot. I've been here before with low luck. Never ends well.
So, Kyle, in a few seconds, whenever you want, whenever you feel like it would be a good idea for you to wake up, you can wake up.
Mhm.
But first, let's open those doors. Arthur, Connor, inside, in front of you, lies the rest of the fourth ward. Something like maybe 60 or 70 beds. Almost all of them are occupied by patients. You didn't hear any of them, but there is something like 50 patients in front of you. They all look at you. They're all bound to their beds. You can see their eyes looking at you in despair. You can see the pain in those eyes, and you can see their mouth open, agape. And you can see the screams that they're trying to make, but you don't hear anything. Their chest cavity is split open. Inside, you can see pumps, mechanical pumps, using those lungs, taking this air for some sort of weird mechanism. That's what you heard through the door. all those mechanical lungs working at the same time, depriving them of their voice and of their air. They look sick and pale and weak and in pain, and they can't scream, but you see their pain. And in, out, in, out, in, out. Sanity roll, please.
That's fair.
I'll take this moment to wake up and say, see.
I failed again.
Graeme, it was 1d10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Wait, was it not 1d8?
Let me check.
I remember rolling a 1d8.
Yeah, 1d8. My bad.
Yeah.
For a failure?
Yeah.
I had
For
a 25.
success, it would be 1d4.
1d4. 25 over 40.
I rolled a 2.
Nice.
Oh, 4.
On a 4.
Succeeded, but got a 4.
Well, that is unfortunate.
Okay.
Connor, you can't stand what you're looking at, and you need to vomit everything you have in your stomach. It will add to the chemical smell of this room, of course, but you can't. Your stomach, at least, can't stand it. You get it out. You get it all out. You throw up again and again, and even when your stomach is still empty, you keep going on and on. The smell of your own vomit and the smell of the chemicals inside the room are making you almost suffocate. You can't breathe anymore. And as you're thinking that you can't breathe anymore, you think of all those lungs going in and out just behind you. Arthur, you're stunned for a few seconds. You look at all those people screaming for help, screaming in silence. In the middle of the room, you see Dr. White. He has a syringe plunged into his neck. He's unconscious right now. For a few seconds, you don't really know how to react. You don't want to think about what Kyle escaped so nearly. You don't want to think about how much time those patients spent here. You don't want to think about any of this. But out of Connor and you are the most reasonable. What do you want to do?
Arthur has had enough. He sees the suffering around him, the needless suffering. And then he looks at Dr. White. And he's filled with anger. And he decided if there's something he can do, he can make sure he doesn't do that to anyone else. So he's gonna shoot Dr. White dead.
Connor, you're feeling slightly better. You see Kyle, he's awake. And both of you can see Arthur taking a few steps toward Dr. White. His gun in his hand, aiming for his head. And no more Dr. White. At that point in time, you can all hear that people are trying to break the doors of the fourth ward. Some people are screaming outside. It sounds like a bunch of lunatics. The doors won't hold them for too long.
Is there any other way out of this room? The beds, the 50, 60, 70 people in beds.
Yeah, no, there's a way out. The one Horace took this morning.
Hmm.
There's no other door. There's no other the only way into this room is the way that we came in. Is that correct?
Don't
It
worry,
is.
I'm bringing loads of friends. We're okay.
We don't know that. We don't know who's on the other side of the door. We think that that's a bunch of orderlies potentially coming to get us. Can I ask, Keeper, all of the connective mechanical instruments that are on the chests of individuals, the thing that's affected Connor so horrifically, are they all go up individually into something? Is there a central something that they go into?
There's some sort of power source that activates all the pumps, and then all the air which is breathed in and breathed out by those patients goes inside tubes, and those tubes go inside the plumbing.
So there's a central unit, is there, that it all kind of like goes into?
If you wanted to stop all the pumps, you could just break down the motor thing.
That's exactly what I want to do. Is I want to go up there and I want to find. I want to march up to whatever that is, and I want to use, if there's a chair, if there's a metal bin, if it's just the butt of my revolver, whatever it is, I just want to repeatedly hit the thing until the mechanical whirring cyclical noise stops.
You hit it, and then after a while, finally, silence. The pumps have all stopped. You see all the patients just like worms moving into their beds for a few final moments, and then they all stop. You just killed 50 patients.
Saved them.
Saved
50 patients.
It's so relative. It's so subjective. It's great.
I mean,
murder.
Connor broke the machine.
Yeah.
Seeing the suffering that they were in.
He's
That
killed
was
more
his
people
intention.
in one go. In one move. Than anyone else in this whole scenario. It's great. Brilliant.
Well, I've stopped serial killers, boy. When I was a police officer, oh God.
It's okay, sir. That was a merciful thing to do.
Shut up, Carl.
God will forgive you for that one day.
Oh, God.
If
Kyle!
you repent.
Well, you're alive. What happened, Kyle? What happened to you? Why did you pass out?
This doctor stabbed me with a syringe, and I did the same to him, and he passed out before me. I didn't know how to get out. I was just staring at the door until you opened it, and God had willed it that it was you and Connor here.
Carl, how are you feeling right now, Carl? You said you got stabbed with a syringe or something. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I believe it was some sort of sedative. That's why we were passing out, sir.
But you're feeling like yourself, are you, sir?
Yes, I start to feel
Arthur,
better.
do you want to do a psychology roll?
Yes, please. Yeah,
well, then you are welcome to do so.
Can I do one too?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, psychology.
I rolled an extreme success.
Oh, I didn't. I got a hard success though, 32 over 75.
Okay, so hard success, extreme success, both tell you the same thing. Kyle might be shaken up, Kyle might not be completely awake, but it is Kyle you have in front of you.
That's reassuring.
I shoot him. No.
Bloody hell.
That's excessive.
Immediately, just kind of like, oh God. Okay. Arthur, God, what the hell is going on? Just
we have to find a way out. That they're coming. Maybe we can hide, and when they're searching for us, we can sneak out. We got
to find Chris. We got to find Sophia. We know what's going on here now. We need to get out. We need to get out now.
We need to get out. Maybe they're out already.
We have everything we need here. We have 50 odd beds with mattresses. Let's throw them out the window and just jump.
on
Through
I'm not sure we're trained
to jump out a window and give your like.
Are you
fate
saying
to
throw
God.
the
mattress
bodies out the
diving?
window?
50
throw the
mattresses would
mattresses.
stop our fall. Surely.
I haven't done mattress diving before. Is it safe?
I have no idea, but God willing, we'll be fine.
Keeper, how far down is it
It's a 4th floor, so you're pretty high up, but you're welcome to try anything.
I'm going to encourage this as much as possible.
Do you know when you like peanut butter on your toast and then you drop it, but it always falls peanut butter first? I feel like that's kind of what would happen with us.
Arthur, just 1 second. Carl, great idea. Carl, stop getting the mattresses out the window. This is a great idea. And then I pull Arthur aside and go,
just
Arthur,
a second. Sophia, Kyle, Connor, Arthur, you all hear the same thing. The ground sort of shaking. There's some sort of rumble going on, as if the building was beginning to shake. That is all. You can just go on with your lives.
To start really throwing them out the windows. They're just throwing the bodies off, and I'll maybe throw them out as well. It's
Kyle's hedge.
Soft to lie
so
on.
Kyle is starting to throw mattresses on corpses through the window. Is that it?
Yes.
Perfect. What about Sophia? Sophia, the crowd is more and more excited. The shaking doesn't scare them. It gets them going. They all seem to whisper to one another, "That's it, the king is coming, the king is coming, the lady was right, the king."
And I'm like, he's in here, and I'm gonna like try to do a strength roll against the doors, but with obviously like 5.
You don't need to. You just told them the king was inside.
Oh,
the door opens.
Perfect. Sophia doesn't stand back. She actually goes with them because she's quite excited at this whole thing. So she's just rushing headlong with them, sort of getting a bit wrapped up in the whole situation.
Connor, Arthur, Kyle, I'm going to ask for a spot hidden. If you do succeed, you see that within the crowd, you have Sophia. If you don't, then you just see an angry crowd rushing towards you.
Okay.
I failed.
34, I think that's a fail.
27 out of 75. That is a hard success.
Yeah, I fail. 25. Yeah.
So, Kyle, Arthur, you don't see Sophia within the crowd. You just see the crowd bursting through the doors. They seem to be aggressive. What do you both want to do? Are you jumping?
I'm going to grab Connor and throw him out the window.
Great. Connor, you're being thrown through the window. Kyle, you just did that. Are you jumping?
Yeah, I'll jump with him.
Arthur, you just saw Kyle jump, Connor being thrown out. Are you jumping?
I'm gonna wait to see what happens to them first, if that's okay.
I should have shot you. I should have shot you when I had the chance.
That's perfectly fine to me, Arthur, but the crowd is going to be here any seconds. You don't really have the time to just wait out and be like, how's it going to be fine? So you need to take a decision.
Okay.
Unless you want to just wait for the crowd.
I climb onto the ledge and hold my hand towards my gun towards the crowd, and that puts me in this in-between position, so that if they try to get me, I just fall back.
Sophia, you're going in with the crowd, and you see Arthur next to the broken window with a gun in his hand.
So, I mean, have I just seen them both jump out the window?
No, you haven't.
I haven't. I've just seen Arthur.
Yes.
Okay. I guess like I sort of move towards Arthur, turn around and put my hands up. I'm like, no, the king, he's through there. So I'm trying to like direct the crowd away from Arthur.
Either charm or persuade.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm gonna go for charm, but I don't know why I'd be. I mean, no, it's probably gonna have to be persuade, isn't it? Because I'm not be charming.
You have some sort of influence over them. You acted as their guide on Herald so far. If you wanted to use charm, that would be fine with me.
Okay, I'll go for charm. So that is 86 out of 75. But I'm gonna spend that luck. That's a lot of luck, but I'm gonna spend the luck.
You're spending the luck on the crowd. Goes right next to you, ignores you, and goes on.
Excellent.
I turn around and look down the window.
What are you doing?
I turn around and look down the window to see what happened to the other two.
It is time for Kyle and Connor to roll. Kyle, you can roll jump. Connor, you can roll jump, but with a penalty die.
I think that's fair.
Thanks. Let's hope God's with us.
No.
To fail.
Penalty die.
I get 71 over 20.
If you did fail your jump roll, you can throw dexterity roll, and then we'll go from there.
I rolled with the penalty die. I had 92 over 20.
Okay, great.
And with the dexterity roll?
Yeah.
43, I pass over 50.
90 over 50.
That's a damn shame.
Do you have any luck?
Kyle,
this is the time.
Kyle, you do manage to land on one of the mattresses. It is quite a rough landing. You're losing 1d4 hit points. But that's kind of all right. You know, it's a good landing for you, especially because your jump was kind of messy. You will survive. Okay. On the other hand, Connor.
Can I use luck?
Yes, of course, if you want to, if you have enough.
This was not what I was planning on doing, was diving out of a window. I rolled 90 over 50. So I'm going to use, oh my God, I'm going to use 40 luck.
Do you still have 40 luck right now?
I have 48 luck left.
Wow.
So you did think that, you know, your end was near. The mattress was nowhere in sight. And during your fall, you think about all your past failures, all your investigations, your wife leaving you, your alcoholism. And you think, this is the man I was, and this is how I die. And then you land on Kyle, who was just next to you, and you realize that you did not miss the mattress, and that you are indeed alive, and maybe it will be the time for you to actually be a changed man and go to church with him, but that's another story, of course. You are alive. You take only 1d4 point of damage.
Yeah, I took 2 damage from the d4.
Great, thanks.
Do I take any more from Connor being thrown on me?
You would take 1d3 and more.
Okay.
I took 4 points of damage. I rolled a 4.
Perfect. But you are both alive on mattresses, surrounded by corpses, and Arthur is looking at you through the window.
I'm looking at Arthur with just wide eyes and absolute fear, still holding my gun.
I'll just pat him on the shoulder, say, trust in God. Trust in God.
I'm just going to turn around and walk back.
Arthur, Sophia, you are upstairs. The ground keeps on shaking. The ceiling begins to let some rumbles onto you. It seems that the building is going to fall apart soon. What do you want to do?
Arthur, what's happening? Where are the others?
They've jumped. We have to run downstairs. Quick.
Are they okay? They jumped out the window. Are they okay?
They're okay. They're okay. But I don't recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, let's get
downstairs. To run?
Arthur starts running downstairs as fast as he can.
Yeah, so Sophia.
Are you taking Sophia with you? Great.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
You both run inside the stairs. You try to not slip on the pools of blood that you can see on your way, and you are rushing towards the exit. Connor, Kyle, you're still alive. You are in the inside court. Where are you running to? Or are you staying there because, it feels nice and, you could stay a while with those corpses around you. And it's, it's up to you guys.
Connor is getting up, very shaky, very still gun in his hand, still very shaky, and he's going to take a couple of steps back from Kyle. Keeper, is there anything you'd like me to roll in terms of with falling, with surviving, just with luck, and Kyle being the reason for that? Am I more invested in Kyle or am I more scared of Kyle?
You feel like, Kyle, Kyle has kind of saved you. I mean, you had a life as a sinner, and maybe it is the opportunity of a new life for you, but it is up to you if you want to take that opportunity. But you feel like if this opportunity exists, it's because of Kyle.
Then I will just give him an almighty hug. I will wrap my arms around him and just say, "Oh, God damn it, boy! God damn it, boy! You just saved my life. God, I apologize for everything I put you through. Jesus Christ! No, I just say, God, praise you, boy."
Thank you, sir. The hardest things to do are always the most worthwhile. And that was exhilarating. I never thought I'd jump at a building in my life. Did you see how high that is?
Shit, son, I saw how high that was. That was pretty goddamn high.
Well,
okay.
Let's go try find Chris, huh? Tell him the good news. You're not dead.
Indeed. We said to Chris that if it went down, he was to meet us on the outside. So, Kyle, you and I, we are going to head and get out of this goddamn crazy house. Hopefully Arthur and Sophia will catch up with us.
God willing. God willing.
So are you trying to exit the sanatorium?
Yeah, especially the courtyard. Are we in the inner courtyard at the moment?
You are in the courtyard right now, the inside court, and your way through the exit if you want to. If that's where you want to rush, you can rush towards that. If you want to explore and try to find Chris, you can do that as well, but then you're not going to the exit.
Up to you.
I mean, he's your nephew.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm going to turn to Carl and just say, Carl, you have given me a second chance and you have inspired me, boy. Now, if Christopher is in here, I have to make sure he gets out. His mother ain't never going to forgive me. And by Christ, that boy, he means more to me than anything else. I got to get him out of here. But Kyle, now you listen to me. You can come with me, but you can get in that exit and you can wait there and you can get Sophia out and you can get Arthur out if he so wishes. But Kyle, the decision is yours. But I gotta go and find Christopher. I gotta go and find Chris. You confer to me, son, there are no more what to do here. I will meet you in that church. I will put down that bottle and I will be with you kneeling down and praying to the Almighty Lord.
I feel this is something you need to do by yourself, something you need to really embrace. Good luck, sir, in your journey, and God willing, you'll find Chris. I'll wait for the police to arrive and inform them of all the crimes.
And when the police arrive, you send them after me, right? You send them after to find me because I'm going to go and find Christopher.
Of course, I'll send them after you, sir. Of course.
God bless you, boy.
Good luck.
Kyle is the first one to get out.
Mm-hmm.
A few patients have actually taken the liberty to escape themselves. Some nurses, some elderlies as well. They're all pretty shaken on, traumatized in many ways. But you are forming some sort of crowd outside of the building. Kyle, you're waiting maybe 1 or 2 minutes, no more, and you see Sophia and Arthur coming. They look exhausted and disgusting. but they are alive. The building begins to crumble into itself. As some part of the building are going down, you can hear some of the patients reciting their lines within the play. You can see some of them. Part of their body is beginning to dissolve in some sort of mucus, which is just going pretty much everywhere, like a slow, bubbly wave, clinging onto the rest of the building and dissolving things away. Half, yeah, I mean, you know, they're just half body now, but those patients, despite the fact that most of their face melted away and that you can see their bones, are still alive. And they keep on repeating, the king is here now. The king is here now. We can take off our masks. The play is over. As the building is collapsing on itself, it forms during a brief moment for you, the audience, some sort of Gothic castle. They're all looking towards the sky. It is plain day. They're looking at this blue sky like they see something that you can't see. During a brief moment, this building looks like a castle, and those patients reciting lines looks like people from another time on another place. As if it wasn't just lines anymore, and if they were convinced that they were telling the truth. Within this macabre scene, where people ignore their own death and their own suffering to recite the play, somewhere Connor is supposed to be. But this corpse will never be found. The police arrives 20 minutes later. Some people are taken into custody for questioning, of course. Some others are being sent to asylums as they couldn't stand the shock of what they've seen today. A few days later, the survivors that you are able to meet Mr. Strand again. He gives you all the money he promised, but he tells you to not speak of this ever again. He understands now from the police reports, from what you've told, what his brother has gone through, and he doesn't want to ever think of it again. Inside investigation is still alive. Kyle, are you still working there?
Yes, after I reported Connor for breaking the prohibition and drinking and buying alcohol to the police, I feel I would have rejoined Insight as a member, as the driver.
Sophia and Arthur, even after this whole ordeal, you still catch yourself coughing a little. Some yellow phlegm. But you can still carry on your lives. Sophia, do you still work with Inside Investigation?
I still do, and I've promoted Kyle Cormac to be the head investigator, trusting him after all the things that have happened. and I still carry around my little spittoon to spit my yellow phlegm in on occasion, while I've still got this ailment.
Your father was, of course, really disturbed when he heard about what all went through at Waverley Sanatorium. He's still sick himself, you know that. He's not going better. He just wants you to take less risk and be safe. That's what he wants for you. After all, you are his only child, and that's why he sent Arthur in the first place. But if you want to keep on investigating and keep on writing, and if that makes you happy, then he's fine.
I will indeed, and I have dismissed Arthur from my services for being untrustworthy.
Arthur, Sophia's father proposed to you to go back as his assistant and his accountant, if that works for you, and if you wanted to just stop and just do your own thing, he would understand.
I think I'm down with the family in general, honestly. I was going to say that Arthur would have quit anyway, because what's the point of trying to protect someone not undercover and when they never listen to you?
You can't quit. I fired you.
Okay. Okay. He still will always care about them, but I think he was never fit for this life. He's a quiet man, so he will take the money and find a little cottage in the woods somewhere, do some, I don't know, what does he like a little bit, and doesn't he has some history and some occult, so he might do some grab some books from the nearby library, read a bit, try to piece things together, but in a quiet fashion, and just try to lead a quiet life without thinking about everything that's happened, and trying to ignore the phlegm the issue.
Hannah and Chris were the last members of their family, and unfortunately, no one is here to pray on their tombs. But they are remembered as heroes, of course, because they did sacrifice themselves and they did try to work for the better good. Investigative Insight will remember them. Sophia and Kyle will hold good memories of you guys, despite the alcoholism and the thievery. That's at least what we want to believe. The Waverley Sanatorium is now closed, and this whole story is over. This was Yellow Death. Thank you so much.
Hey, well played. Sophia, you're going to have to check the account, so don't trust Arthur at all now.
I think honestly the thing that stands out for me in this scenario was just the wonderful handouts. So from the map that gave us the entirety of the asylum down to the weird and wonderful poetry, I think that was a really beautiful aspect of the scenario.
Honestly, the main thing that sticks from this scenario is all the mucus and phlegm. And I just think the imagery was just absolutely disgusting. And I really appreciated that, because I think it makes it really visceral.
I really enjoyed the pre-gens a lot. They had a lot of good interactivity and a lot to get your teeth into. As a player, that's always a guaranteed to get some good interaction and good tension going.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a really good amount of build-up to what was actually a really good payoff, and I thought there was a lot of good tension in the scenario, just by way of the setting, which I thought was really, really clever. As a player, I didn't really know how far to overstep what I was doing with the orderlies. I was kind of afraid of them and what was going to happen. So I quite liked that setup, and it kept me on my toes a little bit.
Yeah, I can echo a lot of what people said. Great pre-gens. But what I think I really liked was that there was one simple thing within the scenario that really kind of set the tone, and it was the rules. Everyone had to follow the rules, and I think that set a bar for behavior, because you knew you were going to step over the rules, but also you were wondering when you could do it, how far you could go, and I think that really set a nice tone for the setting. It was a good barometer for the players.
As a keeper, I think that it is quite well done, because you have the whole timeline of how things are supposed to play out, but the scenario is letting you free to move things around, especially if your players, just like tonight, are eager to do many things. So you know how it's supposed to go. You know how it could be modified too if you wanted to. You have a lot of characters. They are well described, so you can portray them quite easily. You have some quality illustrations as well, all done by the author himself. The players didn't get to see that. I did. It is nice to see that many illustrations. So yeah, quite a great scenario.
And
Excellent.
I think on that note, a round of applause for Charles, our keeper, who did a fantastic job, absolutely superb, and a fantastic to our author of The Yellow Death, who is Batu Bozoglu, who did, again, an amazing job presenting this and letting us to run it here at the Playhouse. So thank you very much for joining us. Please follow our socials, which you will see appearing somewhere below here at this point. And thank you very much. Good evening and good night. That concludes The Yellow Death by Batu Bozoglu. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to the amazing team behind the scenes at the Miskatonic Playhouse. Look out for the interview with Batu, the author of the scenario, and once again, thank you for being a wonderful audience. The management requests that any used spittoons are returned and not kept as souvenirs. Until next time, when the curtain rises again. Hi, I'm T.A. Newman from the Miskatonic Playhouse, and this July I've taken part in the Storytelling Collective's Write Your First Adventure for Call of Cthulhu. It's the third time I've done this course, and once again, it's been a resounding success for me personally. I've been able to write a new scenario which is published on Drive-Thru RPG. It's out there, and I think without the lessons, the reminders of the lessons, so being the third time that I've done it, the reminder from people like Paul Fricker, who are giving contributions about writing villains, it's a really good way to look at that. But one of the other elements that I found really interesting was this year going through it again and relearning some of the material, and there's new material as well in the course, was about the environment and what you can do with your environment to trigger your players. So for me, my adventure this year was this. Be My Valentine, which is the next in my little series of horror games, horror scenarios. So I'm very kind of pleased to have done that, and I don't think it would be where it is. In fact, I know it wouldn't be where it is without having this wonderful kind of community that the Storytelling Collective have created to pull us together and give us a bit of a deadline, but also give us support and lessons to create something. So fantastic work. Thank you very much, Storytelling Collective. And I'll see you again in November.